weekend warriors.
It's the Racers and Rental Cars Podcast with your host, Top Fuel Cam, Cameron Foray, and his co-host, Mr. Top Sportsman, Don O'Neill.
Keep on till they can't ignore you. Put it up for the weekend warriors.
Some brands choose to buy recognition. NGK would rather work for a living. Time after time, track after track, season after season, the engines that continually propel NHRA teams to victory often rely on NGK spark plugs. From factory stock cars to the Top Fuel class, we put our name on the line. And when we finish first, which happens a lot, we go back to work. Why? Because sometimes recognition can come with a price, but actions always speak louder than words. We earn it. We own it. That's what matters to us. NGK Spark Plugs since 1936.
What's up, West Coast? Cam.
Dude, that's not even funny because I literally was on my deathbed, okay? Thanks a lot to the COVID, Pfizer, whatever you want to freaking call it, vaccine. I might as well have just had COVID. I thought I was going to die. I'm slowly climbing my way back to this side of the dirt.
All right, and this week's episode of Racers and Rental Cars is brought to you by the Pfizer Company and their COVID vaccination for Cameron Foray that has kept him out of work for the last 4 days, which I guess his stimulus money will help pay for that in his sick days off. But thank you for tuning in. We apologize because we're back. Because last week, again, I know it's like 3 years in on this deal, but we have our moments of technical difficult.
Quit joking around because people think you're serious.
Dude, we struggled rough last week. Apologize, folks. We had a great guest. We had him before anybody else had him. Josh Hart, Mr. First Timer for NHRA Top Fuel win at the Camping World Gator Nationals. And maybe Cam, somebody forgot to send the right file for the podcast. And yeah.
Wait, who's the one that sends the files over?
I think it was you.
Oh, no. Oh, that's right. I thought it was you. I remember now.
Oh, are we doing politics? Are we doing that?
It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. I'm just over here trying to nurse myself back to health, watching the spring fling, wishing I was there, but I don't have a car yet. But I do have a new motor. Thank you, Goggin Dickey Race Parts.
Yeah.
Super
go ahead
excited.
and
It was delivered today. I'm going to go pick it up over at McLeod tomorrow. Set it right here in the garage and stare at it for however long until next to the mountain of parts that I have from Holly and all of their family of brands, and just wait to bolt her together.
Well, I mean, I get that. It's kind of cool, right? I mean, in a way, I'm with you. You said pile, and you're looking at your engine, and I'm sitting here, 25 feet away. In front of me is my Haas Camaro that came back today. I'm looking at my Oakley engine. I'm looking at transmission, and I'm looking at thousands of pieces all over the floor. And mind you,
at least
I'm supposed to be racing. Yeah, no, mine's not in a box. I'm supposed to be racing in let's see, this is going to drop Saturday. Dude, I'm supposed to be on a racetrack the 16th of April.
All kinds of time. Guy like you that's retired that does nothing with his life, you got all kinds of time.
Man, that,
if you guys could see the look on Todd's face.
I mean, I am here to tell you right now, this old retired thing is working out really well for me. Everybody really is.
Says that the more you when you retire, you end up working harder than you ever did being retired. Everybody says that.
Dude, I'm just telling you that I'm working. And oh yeah, by the way, Dude, I have a trailer yet to pick up that still has to be put
What do you
together.
mean? I thought you just got it.
No, I went to go see it and drop off components to be mounted in the trailer. Yeah, no, I'm still about a week, 10 days away from getting it. So, yeah, a little bit of stress. I mean, they say that you put on weight or lose weight when you're stressed. I am definitely a put the weight on guy.
Is that
'Cause
why
I'm
you
not
bought
listening
yourself
away.
a new Racers and Rental Cars sweatshirt? You went to the 2X now or what?
It most certainly is. This is a double X large that you can get on the website at racersandrentalcars.com. I hope
what I
that
did
you
there.
will stop by, grab a hoodie, grab a new t-shirt, get yourself ready for Racers and Rental Cars at the racetrack, dirt track, circle track, motocross, drag racing, go-karts, junior dragsters, side-by-sides. We don't care. Get them dirty. Show them off, but grab yourself a Racers and Rental Cars apparel at the website. But yes, I am in the when I stress, I put on weight category. I actually had somebody tell me today in a text message that if I lost 20 pounds, I'd pick up 100 horsepower. They will remain nameless, JB Strausweg. And I am not happy with the feedback that I'm getting in regards to my body shape and composition.
Well, it's all those Michelob Ultras he's feeding you.
We're on
the White Claws.
organic. No, we are on organic Coors Pure Light Beer. We're off the Mick Ultras. We're on to the organic all day long beer.
Interesting.
And I think I'd throw my own self out a window if I had a White Claw in my hand. I'm just saying.
Hey, you had plenty of those on your little vacation in Florida. I saw them. Don't lie.
Well, whatever. Sergeant, what happened? I don't know, but when we showed up, he was flat on the asphalt with a White Claw in his hand. It looks like he committed suicide.
Pretty much.
I'm just saying.
So
Oh.
what else is going on, Don? Since we're just spitballing, talking ish.
Well,
You-
hold
we're
on.
Recording it this time.
Hold
I'm
on,
glad to
hold
see
on.
That you push the record button.
Yeah, exactly. Let's hold on. Let's bring our audience up to speed. So, folks, what we're going to do tonight, you are going to listen to us as we're going to talk about a few topics, and then we're going to cut out, and you're going to get to hear the interview that we actually did with Josh Hart last week that you didn't get to hear, and we will close out, and we will see you next week as you roll into Easter egg coloring, egg hunting and finding, and all of the things that you want to do with the Easter Bunny, that you want to make your kids smile, all that nonsense that you're going to do for the Easter weekend. You guys will take care of that, and we're going to move forward. But before we do that, can we talk about Noah Gragson? Like, we literally didn't go 30 days from the last time that we talked about Noah Gragson, and now we're talking about Noah Gragson. Did you see Noah last week?
No, I didn't. What did he do now?
Okay, hold on. Noah did not necessarily do anything that warranted Noah being in a conversation. However, and I promise you that I feel very strongly about this one, Daniel Hemrick came up and interrupted his interview on TV at the end of the race and grabbed Noah Gragson by the throat.
Oh, I did see that.
Yeah.
I didn't.
So
I didn't. Yeah,
okay.
I saw it on somewhere, and I was like, "Ooh, been
Yeah.
there."
Yeah. So my whole thing this is one, if you come up and interrupt when I'm having my interview, that you might as well have just like kicked my dog, because we're going to fight at that point. Game on. You interrupted my interview, man. It's my time to shine here. I'm trying to get my TV time, get my impressions up, my media, the Nelson ratings. I'm trying to get all this stuff. Joyce Julius, I'm keeping all these people in business. Stop screwing up my interview time. So for Noah, totally, dude. We're going to fisticuffs over this. Absolutely. But Daniel Hemrick, I don't know. I heard that Noah Gragson is taking jiu-jitsu classes, and I'm waiting to see Noah and Daniel Hemrick and Harrison Burton, who also does not singing Christmas cards to Noah Gragson. I'm waiting to see like a triple threat match between the three of them right there on pit road here in the
Did they
near
get
future.
fined for that?
No fines, baby. No
Really?
fines.
Nice.
Yes. He'll be on a highlight reel this week for Bristol's dirt race. Believe that. If you don't think there's going to be some fighting this weekend. Woo.
I'll tell you one thing. There's going to be a lot of cool motorsports action going on this weekend, and it's also going to be on Flow Sports. So if you guys don't have that app, you guys better check it out and download it, because they not only do all kinds of cool stuff with dirt track and all that other jazz, but they are actually live streaming the Funny Car Chaos 64 plus funny cars. So that's badass, and you better believe I will be glued to the TV watching that, or glued to my phone while I'm working at the shop or doing something over the weekend.
Oh,
so
yes. Hey, and for our listeners out there, Warren Evans, NHRA Drag Racer TV extraordinaire, now just Drag Racer TV, is actually the one that's handling the Funny Car Chaos for Flow Sports this weekend. So
oh, really?
He will be manning all the live stream. So your issues should be minimal. And the coverage should be awesome, dude. I heard there were 72 funny cars on the property. 72.
Oh, yeah,
Dude,
I'm very, very jealous that I'm not there.
Dude,
Yeah,
I
may
didn't
or
think
may
there
not
was
be going
72
to
funny cars
the
in the
next
country.
I know, right? They just literally coming out of the woodwork. And you know what's kind of cool about it is, like, I've seen, like, John Hale's driving, I forget whose car, but it's like some, like, weird Mustang looking thing. Like, it's like there's no rules. So it's, I mean, yes, there's safety rules and whatnot, but it's just like kind of a run what you brung thing. And I think that's pretty cool. I almost
Wilkerson?
hope that a big show funny car doesn't win, just because of the fact that, I mean, everybody expects them to win. You know, I think Wilkerson, Haddock, Worsham's got 2 cars going. Is that Alan Milfeldorf or Middledorf?
Yep.
That just might just have a big show body on it.
Yeah,
I don't know if that's a true big show car. But yeah, I mean, there's definitely gonna be some fast stuff there. So I think I'm gonna go to the next one, which is in Amarillo, to help out my father-in-law. Doing some crew stuff, but so hopefully this one is a huge success, and a lot of people come to that one too, because I just want to be involved in. I mean, I'll just be a spectator / crew guy, but yeah, maybe I'll bring my helmet. Maybe somebody want me to drive. I still have a funny car license. For anybody that's listening, cough, cough.
Hey, I did see on Fiverr that they were looking for somebody to drive the clown car in the next Shriners. Can you handle that in the funny car? No.
Yeah,
No?
I can do that. According to my 17 NHRA cards that I got in the mail, I'm licensed for a lot of stuff. So, yeah.
Track rotator, one of them.
I'm just waiting for them to maybe like kind of clump them to where it's like it almost makes sense. So that way they don't have a top dragster license on a separate one, where top dragster and super comp should, and maybe ET should maybe be on one, not ET top fuel, and then on another one nostalgia funny car, and like super gas or something. Like it drives me nuts, because then if you got 2 gear bags, at least your gear is kind of the same. But hey, you know, it's work in progress. At least they're like actual cards now. Like I'm into that, so they don't like just go away on while they're in my wallet. They don't just like, yeah. Anyway, that's a whole nother topic.
A whole nother topic. Yeah. All right, let's talk about a few other things. How about the Quadras not being a complete and utter fluke at the Gator Nationals?
Yeah, that was pretty sweet. I think we were talking about that too, weren't we? About how we were worried that they were going to do that, or whatever the deal may be. So that's good for them for coming out and saying, hey, we here.
And Dallas Glenn, he got his big time show start with
Heck
a
yeah,
1
good
thou
for him.
red light. With a 1 thou red light.
That part totally sucks, but that's super cool for him. I know he's been working on that for a long time, and you know, him and his lovely wife are super cool people. So, yeah, I'm happy to see chalk one up for the little guy. So that's awesome.
Well, let's talk about the little guys. Nice segue. How about Dave Conley, Jason Line, and Bo Butner putting on a spectacular super stock event at South Georgia Motorsports Park last week?
Dude, that was sweet. My buddy Aaron Allison won one of the days too, which was really cool.
Yes.
And I heard it was quite a success out there, which is really cool. So congrats to them as well.
So many people posting online all these positive things about how they enjoyed the event, and everybody was well-mannered and they respectful all the way across the board. And just from start to finish. And I thought that was just awesome to see that. And especially for them to have the car count that they had going on for stock and super stock. That's just, it was just awesome.
How many cars were there, do you know?
I don't know. I think there was over 100 in each class.
Wow, that's awesome. I tell you, people want to race now. Everybody's jonesing, man. Everybody wants to go racing, and I don't blame them. I'm right there with them. It's as I'm sitting here watching the fling on my TV, like I'm ready to go. Even Angie, she's like, we need to go racing. Let's do it. Let's go. I'm like, well, we could maybe put the engine in one of the go-karts and see if we can race that or something until everything's done. But yeah, no, I'm really happy to see people supporting these smaller races, which have turned into really big races. So, I mean, what was the fling total yesterday? 429 entries, I heard.
Yes.
Not too bad. Not
on
too
a
bad.
Wednesday.
Yeah.
On a Wednesday.
On a Wednesday. I did hear there was a little drama with that, though.
Oh, do tell.
I heard through the grapevine that there was a lot of people that were very upset at the fact that, a lot of people can't take off a whole week to race the fling, but they want to. And they did not give any new entries a time run anymore. So if you want a time run, you have to be there on Tuesday. If not, yes, you can race on Wednesday. You can show up whenever, but you don't get a time run. Yeah, but so then your $700 entry fee just went to $800. Because I talked to somebody about this, and I said the exact same thing, and I was joking. I was like, oh, so it sounds like they just want your $100 or $185, I believe the buyback is. So you mean to tell me like you're gonna go up there? Because a lot of people, they just want to see if their car runs, right? And the first run, they don't. A lot of people hold or they do whatever. So I don't know. I'm kind of on the fence on that. Which
okay,
I have two opinions. But
I just give you one. No, I don't. Hold on. I don't. Look, especially when you're talking about, okay, so you're talking about Vegas, right? Unless you're a West Coaster within like 6 hours, right? Oh, well, let's not do that. 10 hours. I give you 10 hours because you guys got to drive to get to the Piggly Wiggly. I know you got to drive a ways. But you're talking about a 10-hour drive. And unless you're out there in that 10-hour radius, I don't know what that number is of how many people want to show up on a Thursday or a Friday in that 10-hour radius. Based on the fact of the number of events, big money events that happen, and the timeline based on that location, I strongly would argue that you could have taken the time off somewhere else to get there to plan for it. And I'm just going out on a limb. I don't see, it's not like a guy's driving from Virginia and can't get there till Friday, right? Okay, he's not coming to begin with if he can't be there on Tuesday anyway, because that's a long haul. So I would love.
I think it was mostly because of the West Coast. Like, obviously, the person I was talking to was a West Coast person.
Inside 10 hours. Inside 10 hours.
Yeah, it's still a 6-hour drive for them. So they have to work. Like, they don't own their own business. They have a real job, and they can't. They literally picked the fling instead of racing the national event because they wanted to race the fling, and they prefer bracket racing better than
Okay.
what I was like, oh, that's cool, and then but they're like, oh, and then I hear I don't even get a time run. But this person also agreed with why they're doing it, because I guess last year all these people, they said, oh, they're just sitting in the pits drinking beer because they didn't want to get a time hit on Tuesday. They wanted to get it on Wednesday when the actual race was, which I think that's BS. Like, for those racers that did that, they're playing the elements. I mean, yeah, whatever, but it just ruined it for the working man. Not everybody's, but if you also wanted to be fair, I guess the fairs in Pomona once a year, or used to be once a year, not anymore. But
they serve up waffle cones at the fair.
Yeah, like, there's two sides to it. I agree wholeheartedly. I mean, obviously, bracket racing for the majority of the time is a working man's thing, and so I mean, some people gotta work. But if you want to race that bad, I guess go and do it with no time run.
Well, I mean, can I offer up solutions for you? Carry your stuff.
I'm not
carrier.
There, so I don't care.
Carry your stuff down there and drop it off, and let somebody make a time run in your car while you're working. I mean, it's simple math.
Drive out there, turn around, drive home, another 6 hours, and then how bad do you want it?
There we go. That's how bad do you want it? Yep. Let's talk about how bad do you want it. Do you want it so bad that we're going to jump on social media and stomp our foot and peck on the keyboard to make sure that everybody knows how displeased you are with the Racing Association because of a bad tech call? I just want to know.
And you blaming the person in the other lane? Yeah, I mean, I guess you would want it that bad. I mean, I don't know. That was pretty comical. I was laughing. I did read the feed, and yeah. But hey,
what?
Don't hate the driver in the other lane.
Okay,
I guess.
I had a text message conversation about this, right? And so here's the thing. All right, one, I don't think there's anybody in Top Sportsman or Top Dragster that legitimately would ever roll up to the starting line and intentionally deep stage. Nobody ever does that, right? We're just not. We're like professionals at this.
That was the whole deal. Like, he just
right.
said, hey, I won't do that. Yeah.
Yeah.
Because it's illegal.
So,
because it's illegal in NHRA, right? In this.
No, it's not. No, yeah, it's not. In the rule book, you can deep stage. Yeah.
Screenshot all the
Yeah.
NHRAs.
But nobody does it, right? Everybody naturally assumes that you can't deep stage. And even when I got the rule book, I was like, what? No, you can't deep stage in Top Sportsman, Top Dragster. Well, silly me. Yes, you can. So the next thing is
deep since 19.
It's been going deep since 19. It will get you a slap in the face and on national TV, but nonetheless. So
and ESPN.
Dun-dun-dun. But the thing is that all this outlash, right? All this just nonstop on social media, just peck. Look, be professional. All right? If you cannot be professional and carry on a professional conversation without turning to social media and giving an association a due diligence to right their wrong before you decide to get a megaphone and stand on the corner of Fifth Avenue in Times Square and start, it's just, come on, right? Just stop it.
Yeah.
And I think, and my other thing is, okay, this whole ordeal is no different than you trying to argue with somebody, and we'll take drag racing. You're trying to get a rerun, and the race director grants you a rerun. One guy's going to be upset, and one guy's going to be happy, or one gal's going to be happy, right? And how did that happen? Because there was an argument made, right? If you go, be prepared to argue to the best possible chance and ability that you have, And if you didn't get the jury of your peers to vote your way, then like happens in all court cases, appeal. But don't appeal on social media. And that's really where I mean, again,
I just think it's funny when everybody does that. They go toot their horns on social media, and then next week they're going to be at the same race doing the same things, and then want to know why everybody just looks at them funny.
Yeah, I'm out on I'm going to get on social media and grandstand. I'm out. At that point, I'm out. Be professional, right?
I agree.
So, I mean, kudos this week to the Racing Association coming back and granting and making an apology and them going out on social media and doing it. Kudos to them, right? Accepting ownership, responsibility, corrective action, yada, 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 right? That's the professional side. The non-professional side is getting on social media and grandstanding. So, I'm out on that. Which there'll be some grandstanding going on this weekend at Bristol, and if you're just working this weekend in the shop, in the house, grilling steaks, I don't know what you're doing, washing your vehicle, and you're not watching Flow Sports or Bristol Dirt, man, I don't know what to tell you. It's gonna be
or listening to the Racers and Rental Cars podcast. That's the only reason why you shouldn't be watching any of that. But I mean, even still, don't even do that. I guess.
Drink your coffee. Drink your coffee while you're listening to us. Start your day off.
Out of a Racers and Rental Cars mug, at least.
Yeah, that would be nice. Might help out on our expense sheet if we had a little bit of revenue.
Hey man, if you want the wedding chapel package, we got that. We got the cups, we got the mugs, we got the T-shirts, we got the hats.
Did you die?
But did you die?
Did you die? Oh man, let's see. I covered that. Oh, hey. We didn't get to talk about Kyle Larson last week picking up a win in NASCAR the week before, right? Blaney did it this past week, but he passed Kyle Larson in the last 25 laps this week.
Yeah. You didn't even talk about Supercross either. Look at you trying to run out of here.
Yeah. What?
Your boy, Mr. Carolina boy, trying to just run away with it.
Got a PhD in psychology, right?
He does, and that's what I wanted to talk about, man. He is notorious for being the guy that, like, even in practice, I think I talked about this before, like practice and qualifying, like he's the guy that just talks shit on the starting gate, like when people are next to him, and he gets in everybody's head. And hey, man, he plays the elements. He's out there to win. He's out there to make the millions of dollars, and he's showing it right now. He's getting in Roxon's head a little bit. Roxon's head, as Don would call it. Roxon. Maybe Roxon should go talk to Mr. Miyagi for a little bit, and because I'm a Roxon fan. I mean, Cooper Webb, he's okay, but if I had to pick, I'm on the Roxon side. But I just hope it goes down to the wire at least, and now as they're off for 2 weeks right now, so it'll be interesting to see if Roxon regroups and comes back. Tomac's already out of it. I don't know what the deal is there. Musquin, he's out too. Everybody's dropping like flies, but it'll be interesting to see if Rox can rebound at all. So we'll see.
Where do they go to when they come out of the break? Where do they pick back up at?
Atlanta.
Ooh. Mm-hmm. The dirty.
The dirty South.
Speaking of dirty South, did you catch up on the nuptial column for the World of Motorsports last week?
No.
Yeah, man. Tony Stewart and Leah.
Oh, yeah. Congratulations to them. Good for them.
So, do we have the second, if we're looking, dude, stop stepping on the cat.
No, I'm sorry. It's my garage door. Angie needs the car seat because she's got to go to my sister's house real quick.
The kids don't need no car seat. Put them in the back seat and strap the kid in there.
That's what happens when your studio's in your garage, man. It also doubles as a storage facility. And that cue my son crying.
Well, just strap the kid in the back seat. We all made it without being in a car seat. What the hell?
Especially because it's literally across the street.
Exactly. Just saying. Losing it. I can hear you. Making an appearance on Racers and Rental Cars podcast. Jet, that is not going to help you out in your personal endorsement deals. Nonetheless, no, I was thinking about this the other day as I pondered while I was driving. We had Courtney Force and Graham Rahal as like the first real motorsports power couple, right? I mean, like in our, let's say in our period. Like, I mean, I honestly couldn't think of anybody else. That probably would have been a better question for Loans. I should have texted Brian Loans and asked him, who would have been another motorsports power couple? I mean, yeah, Graham
That's a
Rahal
good
and
question.
Courtney
Graham
Force.
and Courtney, they're
right?
Yeah, I would say that. I mean, that's the only one that really rings a bell. I mean, I'm sure. Oh, well, they're divorced, but Tommy Johnson and Melanie Troxel.
They were a power couple. They
were two drag racers, which a lot of people don't care about drag racing. So
right, but I
they
was
were still married and they were both nitro drivers, so that was pretty cool.
Yep. She was a badass too in a car.
Yep.
But I think the deal with Leah and Tony, I think that kind of takes the motorsports power couple up a notch. I mean, no offense to Graham and Courtney, but I think Tony and Leah just hand the crowns over because we are now the king and the queen.
That's right. Well, I'm just going to put a PSA out that for all these NASCAR drivers that are going to be coming over into the drag racing world to try to, find themselves a hot little drag racer girl. My wife and Don's wife are already married, so they're off limits. So don't even try it. Walk away. Walk away. Don't even look at her. Don't even look at her.
Who would we have if we had? We got to move forward. We got to move on into the interview here. But if we had to, real quick, we talked about this before when they wanted to do the whole 00 shit show deal with all the females and objectifying all the track snacks or whatever they kept calling them or whatever. Who do we have that's eligible to marry a relationship up outside drag racing? Who do we have? We have Brittany, right? Krista's got a steady guy.
Yeah. Juliana Toss.
She's an A fuel, but okay.
I think she's single.
Got Erica.
Erica. Who else? I think that's it.
Alexis,
yep. She's now single.
Angelle Sampay's not. Angie Smith's not. I don't think there's any of the females motorcycle riders. I think they're all
Salinas.
Oh yeah. Oh, there's actually 3 of them, right? 3 sisters, right? So all 3 of them. Okay.
Yep.
Yeah. So okay. All right. Yeah, because both of the Meyer sisters are taken. And if you're going to drop down to A fuel, Jackie Frick's taken. She's in A fuel. We don't have any top alcohol funny car female drivers anymore.
No, not currently that I know of.
Yeah. So I mean, I guess there's some options out there. But then again, I don't really know a lot of the NASCAR guys that'd be interested that are like even legitimate to come over into the drag racing world. I'd be kind of stunned, I mean, I don't know. Not that we're trying to make matchmaking on racersandrentalcars.com. It really.
Hey man, we do it all here. Okay.
I mean, I just thought about it. I was like, man, can you think about what the marketing agency, or PR firm is sitting back and going, now we have Tony Stewart and Leah Pruitt. You not only have Ford, but you also have Mopar. Yeah, I mean, like, you have them both. Pick something that you can't sell to both of those demographic groups. those segments. You know what I mean? That just kind of dawned on me. I was like, man, that's huge. Huge, baby. Get, not like my bracket that got shredded like last week, but whatever. I could do the whole Dick Vitale. It's huge, baby. It's huge. So, all right, Cam, folks, we're going to let you dive off into listening to our interview last week with Josh Hart and Mr. First Timer, NHRA Top Fuel Gator Nationals Camping World Drag Racing Series champion. He used to be Mr. Two Timer for winning back-to-back at the U.S. Nationals, which had been unheard of in alcohol, and he did it in A-Fuel. And now he won his first NHRA Top Fuel.
He just like totally upped both of us because we are, I guess, if you consider me and you, we're 2-time runner-ups at Indy.
Yes, we are. We're 2-timers. Yes, absolutely. 2-time runner-uppers for sure. Well, folks, we're going to let you listen in on a Josh Hart, and we appreciate you tuning in and sticking around, whether you're tuning in on Megaphone, Speed Sport Network, Stitcher, Google, iTunes, Spotify, SoundCloud, Megaphone, and anywhere else that might be broadcasting a podcast that we're not aware of. We greatly appreciate you doing it. Keep the hate mail at hatemail@racersandrentalcars.com coming. Thank you to NGK for being a huge part of our podcast, along with the Speed Sport and Voice America Networks. Cam, dude, I will see you next week, and I hope that we have a lot of fights to talk about in the PR world from the dirt in Bristol.
There you go. Works for me. Sounds good. You guys enjoyed Josh's interview. He's a cool cat. So
somebody is still riding on cloud nine after their weekend at the kickoff NHRA Gator Nationals. Cam, I know you and I were both kind of going back and forth texting about what was going on in Gainesville because, of course, neither one of us was there doing that. I know, play the sound bite. But nonetheless, let's get in our special guest tonight, first timer, holding the Wally, NHRA Top Fuel champ, Mr. Josh Hart. Josh, are you there, sir?
Yes, sir.
What's going on, champ?
Oh, just got home from work. Normal day.
His normal day, other than the fact that he has a carpool dummy in his passenger seat, I would imagine, or at least I would if I just won my first Top Fuel race. Tell me you're carrying that sucker around like it's the Lombardi Trophy.
I did strap him in with his seatbelt on the way home from the track. Yes.
Attaboy. Very nice.
I mean, you put your name in the record book. Did anybody clue you into that during post race?
Daryl Gwynn called me, and he was the first one to tell me what we had just accomplished. And my crew chief, Ron Douglas, he said we Celsiused everybody. I didn't really know what that meant at the time, so obviously Google's my friend, and I was like, oh, okay, cool.
That's awesome. I mean, the only bummer to the whole thing for you is now you've set the bar way too effing high for yourself. So now you just gonna go win them all, or should I just not show up for the rest of the year, or what are we doing?
Well, I believe in karma, and we kind of took the long way around into getting this program off the ground. So I'm glad it worked out that way. But no, my expectations are manageable.
That's awesome. So for the few people that listen to the show, just kidding, tell us just a little bit about your story. I mean, Don and I, know quite a bit about your story just because we are drag racers and stuff, but we have a lot of non-drag racers that listen to the show as well. Give us a little, because you kind of came onto the scene and just kicked everybody's ass in Alcohol Dragster, and then now on Top Fuel. So give us a little bit of your background before that, why you got into racing, what the deal was about your hot rod shop. Tell us about Mr. Josh Hart.
So as far as the shop goes, my wife and I founded Bernie's Speed Shop in 2010. was sitting by the fireplace, and the only thing I'd ever been good at my whole life was like drums and cars. I figured the ship had sailed on the drums, so let's do something with cars, you know? And then the movie Weekend at Bernie's came on. And I thought, Bernie, yeah, everybody will know that. So we named the shop Bernie's Speed Shop.
That's so cool.
Yeah,
I like that.
We had like $300 to our name, and we printed up some flyers, and we went door to door doing high-end classic car, iconic car detailing. And then we ended up buying a small shop, 2 bays. She took over the detailing end, and I started doing superchargers, and it took flight immediately. It was like, now we got an office, then we got a service department, and then we have a 25,000 square foot building. Now we're 10 years into it, and we have 100,000 square feet under roof and a full city block of anything you can imagine in automotive. We do custom interiors, candy paints. Anything you can think of. If you want a Elephant engine and a 71 CUDA, we can build it.
So basically, in a nutshell, anything that Josh Hart touches, ladies and gentlemen, just turns to gold. So now that we got that out of the way, that's rad. That's rad, man.
I'm like, are you kidding me? I mean, we went from $300 to a city block. That's some pretty good motivational education right there. We're gonna have to bring you around, let you motivate some entrepreneurs into making money, because that's a pretty good story.
Yeah, I don't have wealthy parents. We literally built it from nothing. So I met some really, really great people along the way, and they said, hey, you're pretty sharp. Let me show you how to do this, that type of thing. So some great mentors and a lot of luck, but hard work is definitely there. Right after Sunday, I was at work at 7:00 on Monday. So
Atta boy, that's awesome. No, and that's really cool to hear. That just goes to show you that, like, a lot of people don't realize. They think, being a top fuel driver, and you can relate to this, that we do have lives outside of the racetrack, and yeah, we still got to make money. You got to pay for all this stuff somehow. You got to pay your mortgage. The train keeps rolling on Monday morning, and a lot of people, there's a couple people out there that are fortunate enough to get paid to drive, and that's what they do for a living. But this day and age, that really doesn't happen anymore. And, it's really cool to hear, you being, you're in your 30s?
Yep.
Yeah. So, young 30-something, entrepreneur, living the dream and doing rad things on the weekend and rad things during the week. So that's super cool and very inspiring to a guy like myself and a lot of our listeners. So that's really, really cool. So how did you transition from Bernie's Speed Shop into, have you always been a drag racing fan, or you're just like, hey, I think A-Fuel's badass, I'm just going to go get one and start winning? Or
No, it wasn't like that at all. I actually got into a whole lot of trouble driving on the street. So, and I met a gentleman named Ramo Di Genova. And I had a Ford Lightning pickup, and he's like, you know what? You're one of the best drivers I've ever seen, but why don't you try to do it on the drag strip? So we went up to Gainesville Raceway, and I went like 1390s, and I was like doing a burnout the entire time. He's like, okay, listen, the idea to this game is you have to get traction, but we ended up getting that truck into like the high 10s, and then we realized that it's hard to push a brick through the air, and we built a 2003 Cobra Mustang, and I started doing some bracket racing, and we started winning. I was like, okay, well, my reaction time's not so bad. And then it just kind of went from there. Super Gas, Super Comp, Top Dragster.
Oh, I didn't realize you raced Super Gas and Super Comp. That's cool.
Oh, yeah. Every car I've ever had the Bernie's livery on it, and we could never get that wrap into Winner's Circle. Even in the fuel days, I had the Bernie's wrap on there for a full season, and we could not win, but it was just like it was cursed, but every other wrap that I've ever had, I was able to put into the winner circle. So when we started a fuel racing, that's when I realized I needed sponsors, and we were fortunate enough to have a great relationship with Advanced Auto Parts through Bernie's, and they were willing to take a chance on me. So for the last 7 years, our partnerships got Advanced started a program called TechNet, which is their warranty program, and now we're the flagship for TechNet. So that's how it happened.
That's awesome. That's awesome. And then you went from A Fuel, and then you started. We'll just touch on this a little bit. You got your license, and then COVID happened, and some other things happened, and then you just decided, you know what, I'd probably rather do this on my own, and then, you know, got into the ownership per se.
Yeah. You know, I never wanted to own a Top Fuel team. That was not part of the game. You know, you'll hear all the rumors and the horrific facts of, you know, monetary issues.
Right.
But for me, we were just finishing up building our brand new showroom. A lot of things were falling into place. My license was obtained, and the situation that I was in kind of forced us into buying one of the operations from Bob. So that's how that all unwinded, and the crew was willing to participate moving forward. And I had to dig real deep into my savings to be able to pull that off. But, you know, if you got confidence in your team like I had last weekend, obviously anything's possible.
Absolutely. And you got some pretty cool guys on your team over there. You know, Matt Madden's a buddy of mine, and Mr. McNichol and all. You got a good team over there. So you assembled the right parts and pieces, that's for sure. So that's super cool. And, you know, I hope to see your continued success. And maybe one day I can just ride on your coattails and, you know, win a round or two.
Well, Josh, you're known up until this past weekend, you're known as Mr. Two-Time, right? You back-to-back U.S. Nationals champ. You're Mr. Two-Time. Every time you come up, didn't matter what it was, a press release, or announcement, you're Mr. Two-Time. And it's so funny how quickly that left you Sunday afternoon when that win light came on at the end of the racetrack. You were no longer Mr. Two-Time. You're Mr. First Time, and placed your name in the record book. So that's got to make you as an individual, your family, the individuals that you've grouped together. I mean, Ron Douglas, I mean, I wanted to ask you from this standpoint, and you probably didn't see, but we were watching, sitting here on the couch, your win light came on. Your crew was losing their ever-loving mind on the starting line. Ron turned his back and walked off. It was like he just hit 3-2 pitch, bottom of the ninth, Game 7, World Series. He knocked it out of the park and walked off. And that floored me. I was sitting there going, where's he going? No interview? Does he know what he just did? So can you tell me what was the conversation, the first conversation between you and Ron, not winner's circle or anything in nature, when all the hubbub was done? What was the first conversation? What was that conversation like between you and Ron to accomplish that?
So when I got back to the pits, I got swarmed for about 30, 45 minutes, you know, and I didn't get to see him. But when I finally got to see him, I looked at him. I said, dude, you're like Babe Ruth. I mean, he was calling his shot every pass, and it was like dead on, you know. And when you got a guy like that, like I'm not kidding, you get in the car and you do your job, you know, whether I own it or not. You got to make that guy proud because he was just that good.
Oh,
I mean, with all the speculations and all the, you know, I think he's one of probably the most underestimated crew chief ever. And for him, I'm sure it was like dropping the microphone, you know?
Hell yeah.
He dropped the microphone and he walked away. I mean, he did exactly what he said he was going to do. And, you know, we carry the same demeanor in a lot of manners. You know, we don't talk a lot. It's not about the fame and all that stuff. You know, it definitely isn't about the money. But I tried to do my job, and he damn sure did his job. So
No,
All right.
you guys are definitely a powerhouse deal right there, and that's awesome. How many races are you guys doing? All of them now, or did that stick the needle in deeper, or are you just gonna stay with what you kind of? I think you had said you were gonna do a handful of them or something, right?
Yeah, originally we were going to do 12 races, but given the confidence moving forward, I'll do whatever it takes so that Alan Reinhart doesn't call me a part timer.
Ooh. Oh, okay. I like that. Wait a minute. Hold
Very
on.
nice.
So, see, again, okay, so Alan, I know you don't listen on a regular basis, but Alan, when somebody shows up to the first event and they're there, you can't label them a part-timer until they don't show up at the next event. Okay, Alan? You can't label them a part-timer. That's how you label somebody when they show up. What, they showed up today on Monday? They don't show up again until Wednesday? Okay, they might be a part-time employee. But you can't call a part-time racer part-time until they don't show up the next time. Come on, Alan. I'm with you, Josh.
Yeah, he hasn't called me part timer yet, but if you don't run 22 races, I'm sure that'll get said sooner or later.
Oh, you know it will. You know it will. Well, so do you have? And I know Cam's gonna jump out, but I want to talk about the journey to get where you are, because I think that's probably what makes the story and the accomplishment that much rewarding. So I don't want to try to cut skin and pull stitches and everything out, but I think everybody needs to know what that's like for you to go through that with your family. Because 2019, you had a plan, right? When did you get your license? In Vegas?
No, I actually did not get my license in 2019. I tested in Gainesville, and then we ended up going to Atlanta, and we made 3 passes in Atlanta, but I smoked the tires at about 800 feet every pass.
Okay.
So then we were getting set up to test in Vegas, and my daughter was born. So
That's what it was.
I left Vegas, and long story short, I ended up flying out to Arizona in 2020, where I made my final license passes. Right. The truck showed up in Gainesville, and COVID happened.
Right. Well, COVID's going to happen for me right now, because this is an awesome interview, and Josh, thank you so much. But I do have to jump out. But I look forward to seeing you in Vegas. It sounds like so. I definitely can't wait to shake your hand or give you a COVID elbow bump or something to congratulate you on your awesome accomplishments. And I look forward to racing with you for a very long time. So. And yes, I'm with you. I don't like the part-timer word either. So, but we'll have to tackle Ellen together. So, anyway, I will. I'll see you guys soon, and you guys enjoy the rest of your conversation.
Take care. Thanks, Cam.
Yeah, no worries. See you.
Yeah. So you got the license piece. You're cranking along. You've got a plan moving, and then kind of all of a sudden, somebody else had a different mindset about what they were going to do versus what you wanted to do. And I think that's where the train came off the tracks for a lot of people. And I want to know what it felt like inside to know that you and your wife, your family of supporters, your circle, and you've entrusted in this plan, right? I'm a military guy, so everything for military folks are about planning and execution. And so you've formulated a plan that works for you, and you've entrusted someone to help you execute that plan. And then that just was like the helium out of the balloon. Take me through a good 48-hour whirlwind in your head with your family as you're trying to communicate and wrap your arms around the fact that your plan has just decided to come completely unraveled.
Yes, I mean, I've never worked for anybody else. I've always been an entrepreneur. I enjoy planning. But one thing when you work for yourself is you can't account for every variable. You're exactly right. I I definitely trusted a couple of people that I probably shouldn't have got so deep with. But I would say that in the first 48 hours, I probably felt everything that you want me to say. uh, you know, the bottom line is they showed up to Gainesville. The trucks were there, the car was there, and he didn't have a choice. I could speculate and go into all the rumors and everything else, but bottom line is he did show up. The car was there to race. The team was there to race, and COVID happened. So we negotiated through all of that, and I'm sure there was hard feelings on both sides throughout that process. I definitely don't think that either one of us walked away from the table happy. But there was never any lawyers or anything like that involved. I mean, he kept a great open line of communication, and we were able to get through it. So that's all water under the bridge. And I believe in karma too. I did everything I said I was going to do. And at the end of the day, I may not have liked the price and the way that the money was handled, but he did everything he said he was going to do. So now we move on.
All right, I'm going to ask, did you get a text message or a phone call from congratulations from him?
I did.
There you go. Okay.
And I'll be even more forthcoming with you. I texted him back and I said it wouldn't be possible without him, because
it's not like you got junk.
No. Well, there's so many people that had an opinion, you know what I mean? And I'll be honest, I drank the Kool-Aid for a long time. I was in the whirlwind, and he kind of reeled me back in and said, look, this is what's going on. Are we going to do it or are we not? We were able to navigate through it together. There's definitely no hard feelings anymore. We just got to move on.
Well, I know it's always a huge thing, right? And you talk about, it doesn't matter. It's not just drag racing. It's NASCAR, it's IndyCar, it's F1, whatever the case is, right? Truck, Xfinity, any form of motorsports takes an absorbent amount of money. And you could even go down to the grassroots level of bracket racing with your buddy, or a dirt track car, a wing sprint, whatever it is. It all takes money. And you put people together because you want to accomplish something, right? And you feel like you can do it together. And it's difficult when it doesn't go the way that everybody put the train on the track and sent it in motion. It's difficult when the train starts losing cars halfway down the track, and it makes it difficult for everybody involved. So it's good that you can come away with the perspective that you have, relationship, amicable, if you will, between parties, and him be able to forthcome to you and congratulate you. I mean, that's huge. There's a lot of people out there. I know I just listened to an interview the other day about somebody not being friends with Joe Gibbs, and it's going on 30 years of not being friends. Don't care for him. Don't want to have a relation, and it's like, man, that's holding a grudge, right? And by all means, I don't think anybody would wrong you if 5 years from now you said you were still holding a grudge. In business, it's still business, but there's emotion in it and trust and so forth. And you're not somebody that was just coming onto the scene to try something. You had the backing and the program and the name successfully to be able to make an impact on the scene, and you definitely proved it this past weekend.
Yeah, there's also two sides to every story. I don't know what he was going through. I don't know if he knew what I was going through. If you just looked at the numbers, all I can say is it didn't make sense. But again, I'm glad that it worked out the way it is. I'm happy that the team was able to go right back to work without missing a beat. Obviously those guys are badasses. I mean, they literally did not miss a beat. That's where the real magic happened. But we were able now to have full control, and we put the money in the right places, and trucks and trailers and all that stuff is nice, but if you can put the money into the car, you're going to win.
Oh, absolutely. We don't race haulers. They've just never, did they, why, I don't know. I can't say that now. We can't say that in 2021 because weren't all the winter circles photos were in front of the team haulers, weren't they? Well, so, all right. So maybe a hauler's never been in a winter circle photo. I can't say that anymore because the NHRA's proven me wrong on that one. But you're absolutely right. So you kept everybody intact. Everything housed in Florida with you under the roof?
Currently, yes.
So is all the team live in Florida, or are we all sporadically spread out and we're flying in to do business?
Yeah, right now everybody is flying in. We've got some big plans in the works, and we'll just kind of see how it goes. Right now, as Ron Douglas said, we're still in the honeymoon phase. But we definitely like each other. We've got a lot of common interests, clear down to like the music that we listen to, so it's a good relationship, and I think it's only going to get better from here.
All right. Well, let's talk about your marketing. You're a pretty savvy guy with what you've been doing and what you've gotten going on. What does this kind of fan the flames for you after this past weekend in Gainesville? Has your marketing focus changed any? Are we going back to companies saying, hey, remember you told me no? This is what you missed out on this weekend. 1.2 million people watching me turn on a win light. Are those conversations happening? I know it's only Thursday, but
on my way home tonight, John Force left me a voicemail. Steve Torrance called, and he was awesome to talk to. So I know I've made a lot of connections so far, but as far as the sheer marketing and sponsorship end, I'm proud to say that I'm super, super loyal. Advance has been good to me. HLC Trucking, OWV Excavating, those guys have been with me for like 8 or 9 years. So, the paycheck sounds really good, but the truth is I don't think I would delete any of those guys even if they were paying less. Probably the worst sales pitch of all time, I know, but that's the truth. They rode the wave through me. Even COVID, Advance Auto Parts continued to pay the bill. So that's where I'm at.
Oh, well, without a doubt, as me being a military guy, I can the loyalty. I'm with you. I know how that boat goes. Got no problem. I'll row it with you for sure. And to caveat that, I don't think I've ever heard a bad word spoken about Matt Davis at Advance and his team. So they're pretty committed along those lines as well. So you definitely have not done them any disservice in your level of success that you've went through. You were Mr. 2-time until Sunday, and now you're Mr. First Time. So I know this is kind of hard to ask, and probably not hard for me to ask, but probably hard for you to answer. Now you started with a plan. You've already mentioned to Cam and I that you're going to run some more. Beyond that, if you were sticking to your original plan, you were going to do 12 this year. What was the plan for 2022? I know you didn't just get into Top Fuel to run 12 races and say, okay, at the end of the year, I'm going to go buy a boat. You had to have some sort of 3-year or 5-year plan in there. What was kind of the thought process that you and your family circle had?
My plan was, I probably still have a solid 7-8 years left in me before I don't know that my body could take it anymore. And we were going to build this thing up and try to really get a program going where we could help other racers. A lot of people don't know it, but up until this point, I've donated almost every dime of my contingency money to other racers, whether it be A Fuel, Super Street, Super Gas, Top Dragster. You'll find Bernie's stickers on, even Pro Mod cars. So I just, I don't know. I didn't really have a solid plan other than we're going after a championship soon. Once the team is gelled together and obviously that happened a lot faster than I thought it would. We're going to turn up the heat and go for it.
Nice. Well, no, and we have seen. I know Miss Iaconio that you're over there on her Super Street truck, and your logo shows up definitely around the pits in the sportsman ranks, and that's awesome that you do that. And I will say that Cam and I have talked numerous times that we don't have a farm system in place in drag racing to be able to promote and educate and move people on, if you will, or help grow them within organizations. It would be nice if people could come together and we have some sort of driver development program like Toyota and like Ford and like Chevy has on the NASCAR, their dirt track side, and bringing drivers up through and progressing them, because I feel like it's something that's going to continue to impact our sport. How we go about doing that in the execution phase of it, that's something that's going to always be a challenge for whomever it is that decides to tackle trying to put that program together.
Sure. I mean, it's hard. It's hard to get funding to run a top dragster even, So as much help as I can be, I'll be,
So does that mean we got a second top fueler in the Josh Hart Racing future, or no?
I'm not sure. I have been talking to Sean Reed. Sean is wanting to get involved in some capacity, and he's been super patient with me because I've never done it before, obviously. So we started talking over this last weekend, and he threw out some ideas. So yes, we're definitely kicking it around.
Oh, first time to 2-car team overnight. Just sprinkle water, right? Just add some water and some dollars, and we got it.
That's what it is.
Oh, that is it. Josh, when you kicked off and came up the ranks, was there any point that you said, okay, this is probably where I want to stop at? It doesn't make much more sense for me to progress past this point. This is okay. Or if I'm going to go past this point, I got to go all the way. How many of those conversations in 10 years did you have?
I would say 0. I just kept trucking. My wife says that to me all the time. She's, when's enough? And I said, I never really stopped to count it all. I just kept going, So as far as the racing goes, I wasn't having a whole lot of fun anymore in the alcohol car. We were operating that thing at a top fuel level, and I didn't feel like I was doing as well as I could have, for whatever reason. Top fuel was the natural step. And I had a lot of fun last weekend. The camaraderie of the guys, all that kind of stuff, just kind of put things back into perspective for me. I don't know if that answers your question or not, but I'm just going to keep on going.
Okay. No, we all kind of have this, idea where I'm old, right? So it's not that big a deal. 23 years beating on my body in the military. I'm beat up. So at some point I realized, okay, I gotta stop. But for others that are grinding away and so forth, everybody kind of has different dynamics, as Cam and you were talking about. You have a life outside of racing. And so there's other family dynamics that are always pulling on you, that sometimes that's what causes you to have to stop or take a step back or pause because you need those opportunities to keep your family life going. So that's interesting that you didn't have any of that going